Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And I want to welcome every person, place, and thing along in my existence. All right. Today is another beautiful day. I hope your day was as phenomenal as mine was and always is. You know, you know what that bell signifies and means. It's time for everybody to come on and get on the set. So we're going to wait a couple minutes. We're going to see if anybody's interested in stepping in. Maybe we'll get a few comments in the comment section. Okay? Just keep in mind, you don't have to be respectful. It says that you should be respectful and follow community guidelines. But you know how I am. I want you to come at your best. I want you to be at your best. All right? So sometimes it may entail for an individual to get a little nasty every once in a while. This is where you got to learn to deal with it. Stop being a crybaby. All right? So we're going to get into, as I promised, I was going to come back and continue in one of the files by Mr. Anthony. All right? But before we do that, let's play a few tunes. Let me get myself together, do a couple things, you know, get some drinks, maybe socialize a little bit. It's a Saturday night. There's never a rush. There should be me or you ever rushing when it comes to getting enlightened. When you seeking and reading or discovering other information or knowledge, never be in a rush. Never be hasty. Always remain calm. Taking your time and being in control. Let's hear this track right here. Let's be clear. Relax yourself, girl. Be so clear. Relax yourself, dude. Be so clear. Yeah, we're gonna come from the broader files tonight, y'all. I don't think you're quite ready to come from. I don't think you're quite ready to come from these files. You ever been through files before? What type of files have you ever been through? Were they personal files? Administrative files? Huh? Classified files? You ain't been through no classified files. You may have did a little accounting work. Okay, work for a law firm or something and sliding drawers open and talking about, oh, let me check your files. You might have worked for the welfare department, but you ain't been through no classified files. And even if you had been through classified files, you had the ones with all the black lines through it, where they only left you adjectives, vowels, which made no sense. Well, the files we're going to get in tonight is uncut and raw, people. This is something you need to get acquainted with if you're not already. You need to open up some of Anthony's files. It's some profound information in here, and I'm going to share it with you. This is the good thing about it. See? Earlier, I dealt with the color of black. I'm going to continue in that. All right? But before we do, I'm going to read to you a little of information of the Great Seal. You're going to want to hear this, people. So stand by. We're going to get into it after these messages. Hey, what y'all drinking on tonight? Let me know. Get in the comment section, y'all. Let me know what you drinking on. Tell me, you make your own drinks? Maybe some of you drinking on some lime and water. Maybe you drinking on lemon and water. Maybe you got some cucumber and some Fiji water. You didn't know you could do things like this, did you? Do you know what happens when you add essential Fiji water with a lime? Somebody get in the comment section and let me know what happens when you put your lime into some good old Fiji water or something. Huh? What does it do? Correct. It actually alkalines your water. Oh, yeah. lime and some good Fiji water or essential. I like the essential. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes you can get some water already alkaline. And what we mean by that, you at least want to be dealing with a 7.0 or higher. And what this does to your body, it actually ignites your cells. You see, thereby causing your pineal gland to spark and ignite. And it enables it for you to have your beautiful relation when that kundalini starts going up and down your spine. So when this happens, it enables you to have your harmonious and beautiful relationship with your body. You see? And everything in the physical world. Once that energy, that what is known as what people is calling a kundalini, right? It's actually you. But it's going to take time for you to see this. Just be able to explain it until you start experiencing it by visualization, people. This is the only way that this can manifest. When you have a clear mental projection of the said knowledge that is beforehand or before you. You see? All right. So, again, I hope you all had a beautiful day like me. I want to welcome you all to my airway again. All right. And I just know your day was beautiful for the simple fact I'm dealing with beautiful beings in existence in this day and time. Ain't that right? Of course it's right. I ain't gonna sit back there and kiss his goes off. I'm better sit here. All right, so let's get busy. All right, what we gonna do first, people? What y'all want to look at first? We don't want the tunes overriding the information. So let's cut this down. If you can't hear it, then oh well. If you can, then great. Let it tune in with the information that I'm going to be reading here from the Anthony Brothers file. First, I'm going to read how it means when we get informed, what happens is we become shaped. Okay? Our character through study, learning, experiences, or instruction. The mind, like any computer, is only capable of responding to the information which is in its memory. You see how this works? If the information is not there, you cannot draw upon it. If the information is incorrect, then your responses will always be incorrect. The equation is simple. If limits are placed on your thinking, then limits are automatically placed on your ability to view reality and act intelligently. Intelligently, meaning bringing out what you see as opposed to regurgitating that what she or he see. You never got the chance to allow to be yourself. You thought a little different, but because the class didn't see the way you did, you thought you was wrong. Perhaps some that you even got laughed at. That's because them people didn't have understanding. That's the only reason why they was laughing. Don't feel bad. You should have laughed with them. That's what I did. They's like, dang, Nate, you laugh at your own self. Why not? Of course. I'm laughing at me, the situation, and you. Educational systems are designed to control the thinking of people. You ever see cats getting up early in the morning going to school? People, tell the truth. Do you ever see dogs getting up and going to school in the morning, all lined up with the mask on their face? That sound funny, right? See, you laughing. Y'all want to laugh at me. But I'm serious. I don't see birds. Birds be playing outside every day when I got to go to work. That shit makes me mad. I see them fly down, chasing each other, jumping all on each other. I'm like, yo, don't y'all got something to do? They look at me like, you human, ain't you? You done turned human. And of course we do. Of course we did. Because through an educational system, it was designed to control your thinking and manipulate your images and even your information. We are all product of the education we have received in school. That's a fact. Did you know if you was born in America, right? Let's say I'm from another plane of existence, or even outside the glaciers, or somewhere in the Grand Canyon. You know, say I ain't been in this society, and I'm new. Okay, I shape-shift and I came on up in here, and unbeknown to you, and I sat down and I listened to you speak. I said, wow, I know this individual. You see? Because in America, your thinking capacity can go no further than that of the Bible and the dictionary. The Bible is a standard for your belief system. The dictionary is the way you communicate, which is anti-life and satanic. You'll see. You may not see now. I didn't see a long time ago yesterday, so I know what I'm talking about. You see? We are all a product of the education we have received in school, at home, and in society. But sometimes traditional education is not enough. Lady Shea Butter, peace, love, and light. Okay, appreciate the come through. Yup, definitely high vibrations, and that's where we're going with it today. I'm going to bring some information up here out of the Brothers file. Okay, I want you to take a beautiful look at this image right here. Yeah, it's the same one, idol that they give to the people at the Grammy Awards. All you gotta do is Google the image. I'll do it. Let's go in center field for a minute because it's deep. That's the same staff and the position that idol that they give them people at the Grammy Awards, and they don't even know it. They worshiping Amun Ra. Y'all ain't lying. I can't make this up. I already did my research. I said, wow, look at this. Let me see if it's still in my search section. Sure it is. Oscar Award. There you go. I was showing somebody else this. They couldn't believe it. They was like, no, that's not the same position. That's not the same thing. I said, look. See, they changed. One got a reef. Let me get a clearer one. One has a wreath, right? But this one has the staff. Can't see it clear, so it's a trophy, huh? They call it a trophy. All right, we're gonna go back to it. All right, let's pull this one up. If you look good, get your own phone and you can see it best. The position of his hands and the get a better one, you'll see the staff that he's holding coming down. Coming down in front of his body. You see? Only thing is not the because you, of course, in a patriarchal system, you're going to take out the uni, the womb, the feminine. Oh, y'all don't understand the science of how this go yet? Oh, okay. All right, let's go. That's why I brought these files out. I got the files too where it ain't got all the black markings written through it. That's facts, Lady Shea Butter. It's right there in front of our face. And still to the day, people dispute me on that. Like, no, that ain't the same thing. It's just a coincidence. He's having to hold his hands. Same thing. Right over left. I could see it was left over right. Signifying something else. But they got the right over the left, and they know they ain't even about that. Yes, even with the crossing of the leg. Left over the right or the right over the left. Even with the standing of the foot in the Masonic order. Left foot first or right foot first? Oh, people know I'm not a Mason either, just for the records. I just know a lot. And I'm a baby. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a baby at this. So sometimes traditional education is not enough. Practically, if key elements essential to this education process are omitted. Many years of our lives have been, well, he writes, many years of his life have been dedicated to re-examine information which is not part of my formal education, nor is it of ours. So nevertheless, needless to say, I have learned more about myself and reality, writes Anthony Browder, than I could have ever imagined. I have come to understand, he uses the word understand, but if you chose understanding, that's just fine. But be sure that whatever a person believes with feeling becomes the sum total of their existence. And I think we went over that before. I thought, I'm sure that you know by now. And if you practiced it enough, you should be well on your way into manifesting and bringing it to fruition. Working your magic. Just like Dorothy, you should be clicking your heels 3 times. God damn it. Excuse me for getting hyped. Because we serious about this thing out here. I can't be tolerated and surrounded and emerging and frequent with energies that is not of my pulsation. No. You better off by yourself. Mr. Anthony goes on to write that he believes that absolute knowledge of self is the ultimate objective in our lives. As I speak, okay, so I want to move on where it gets a little deeper, where it's not so personal himself, where he says that the lack of specific information denies you the opportunity to make intelligent decisions about your life. The feelings of powerlessness and misinformation which pervade the Black Americans community have simultaneously created in one segment of this community a real sense of urgency for obtaining accurate information of thyself. This in turn affects the quality of your life in this world and in the next. He goes on to say that Mr. Dick Gregory said it best when he stated, and we quote, "Information is power. Education is not power. Money is not power. Information is power." End quote. It is only through the acquisition of information that any group of people can develop the ability to control their destiny. We need to be clear on that. If you tend to reign here on the physical plane, let me bring that to light. And we'll get deeper into the differences of the macro and the micro and mastering a little bit later. But let's keep reading on here. Because we have people that feel though that they are in wrench conditions and they seeking the Lord to get up out of it. And so we beings who are of intelligence and divineness, we can't let these people stay stagnated. I mean, I know you would like to keep moving on, and sometimes we feel as though that we have extended our stay here on Earth, and it's time for us to go on and party into the next projection that you have ready for yourself. You see, if you've done it to this degree yet, I don't know. Some people think they're gonna go to heaven and hell and burn in the fire forever. Wow, that's why I'm got to give this information out, man. I don't want you thinking like that. How you going? I don't want you burning in hell forever when you're suffering so much here on Earth. I'm gonna stand up for you. I'm gonna be the mouthpiece for you when it comes to you and being judged with this God. Make sure y'all get my card. I'll probably be attorney when it comes time for judgment day. I think I want to be an attorney. Come on, God. That ain't cool. You know that man only did 3 years of dirt. Don't sentence him to eternal life and the damnation in the hellfire. That's not justice. Your Honor. Y'all know how it go. We supposed to be dealing with a just God. I don't want you disappointing the people. So we're going to need a mouthpiece if people thinking that they're going to go and be judged after they leave that body. You're going to need somebody to represent you. Because remember, your heart can't weigh in heavier than that feather on that scale. And according to the Islamic doctrine, they said your bad deeds better not outweigh your good deeds. See? So it goes on to read in the book of Mr. Brothers Files, right? That it is only through the acquisition of information that any group of people can develop the ability to control their destiny. The current conditions that plague the Black American community are a manifestation of a pervading sense of powerlessness brought about by misinformation. What was one of the titles and albums that Lauryn Hill put out? And not shortly after that, she was not so no much more and glamour and glory was she. But even under this or these dire circumstances, a unique form of karma is evolving. We're going to need to be clear on this, people. If not, you're going to be left behind, still stuck in the information of old. That's all. It's nothing bad or scary going to happen to you. It's just that you won't move on. You won't become supreme. You won't become elite. You'll be a peasant. It's like a chessboard. Okay? Your homie is the bishop. Your other homie is a knight. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you messing with the queen or the king. Sometimes both in this world. I don't know anymore. But that's just the way it goes. Either you make things happen or things is going to happen to you. There's no other way about it. Why you think everybody was recommended that they should get slapped? And you know what I mean by the slaps? That thing up in your arm. That's that juice. That's that shit to keep you asleep. A UFO could fly by and they put it on the news. You're going to believe it because you got that juice up in you. You're not. And what that juice do, you got to understand what's in that stuff. It only took them 3 days to make it. So you know what that means, right? All the material was already here. If they came up with it like that fast, and you know they did, this shit was already made up. They had containers of vials. Probably from 1982. Messing around with them presidents. They told you it was going to be a new world order from 4 presidents straight. Everything in our world is based on the law of karma, which is the universal principle of cause and effect. Let's look up what cause and effect according to the Kabbalion, shall we? So, in the Kabbalion, we're dealing with that of causation, which is chapter 11. And it reads and states that every cause has its effect. Okay? Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Everything happens according to a law, whether the individual recognizes it or not. There is no such thing as coincidences, mishaps, chances, oops. You know what I mean? I messed up. Let me try again. No. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. Just like religion is for people who don't understand the science of mathematics of their existence. That's all religion is for. Some may think it's to control the mass of people. I mean, that could also have been some of the final stages after people to recognize they can make money off of it, financial gain. But for the most part, they didn't understand. The people didn't understand the code and like we doing today, our science and mathematics. They don't have the neuro. They don't have the brain capacity to see objectively. So everything has to be in front of me type thing. You understand? You all right? You know you're at work and they'll come and pat you on the back and ask you, you understand? You see how it works? And you like, come on, man. Yeah, goddamn. You keep telling me the same thing. I peeped how the game go when I walked in and seen the ball working it. But they don't see it like that. It takes them years. Where it might take you a flash of a second. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. All right? And that's coming out of the Kabbalion, chapter 12. Lady Shea Butter writes that let the punishment fit the crime so he can do that time. Very profound. That's right. That's a beautiful. You see? Because your own self-accuser spirit, I got my own self-accuser spirit, I got the answer to. However long it took for me to do that which was anti-life, non-cipher. Like she says, it's going to take that much time for my karma to at least be remedied, and then I can start anew into the greater insight of what, where, how, and why. So as we stated, everything in our world is based on the law of karma, which is the universal principle of cause and effect. For every action, there is a reaction. The popular media, campaign promoting beautiful babies right from the start addresses the relationship between parental care and birth defects. This is karma. This is cause and effect. The same karmatic principle applies in relationship to knowledge and even information. Despite all evidence to the contrary, we are standing on the threshold of a resonance of the Black American consciousness. This mental rebirth is being spearheaded by the efforts of numerous men and women who are rescuing and reconstructing our Black or African American history. We are being shown a new version of history or our story, which documents advance. I'm going to paraphrase here. All right. I want to paraphrase here because I want this to perception and light and knowledge be coming from an enlightenment of a new day and time. Mr. Broder wrote this back sometime probably in the 70s. I'm not quite sure. It's been revised. This is a revised edition in 2000. Okay. We at 23 and 24. You know how I play. I'm not going to regurgitate that stuff from the old. No disrespect to it either. It's just that it needs to be revised. Just like you get a new revisement in your manual whenever you buy your PlayStation or your Xbox or your new car. Okay? Mr. Broder, he brung this to the light in that day and time in which it was supposed to be brung. So the people will gravitate to one stage from the other. Now, after 2 and 3 decades later, we're supposed to bring this where it fits and suitable to us in our day and time. Nothing remains the same, for everything is subject to change. Ain't that right? Even the prices at McDonald's, even your eggs, everything except your pay. So if everything going and rising except your pay, why isn't my mentality rising? That's the greatest payment right there. The ability to increase in knowledge and information, especially when it's coming from oneself. We are being shown a new version, right? Which documents advanced Black culture and civilization which preceded slavery thousands of years. And if you listen to Dan Calloway, if you know anything of Dan Calloway, he will explain to you that yes, pretty much all that African slavery thing is pretty much has been told in reverse. You may have a little percentage of beings that came from Africa and went through some whips and tar feathering and so forth. We're not going to negate that. We're not going to say that this didn't happen, but not like they say it is. Not like how you think. Not like the mental projection which they put in your mind. Remember what he said. Remember what we read in the beginning. Everything that we think and know is a result of the information which comes into our consciousness and is stored in our mental computers. This information forms the perceptive perspective through which we view reality. Right? We are now introduced to irrefutable evidence. Irrefutable evidence. So irrefutable they can get your stream taken down and get you booked off of social media. It's getting deep out here. My streams, my lectures, these talks of mine go no further than at least, I say, 7 to 10 people. They have an algorithm like that. Oh yeah, they do. Every last each and every individual who has a social media account, I don't care what one, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you're put in categories. Oh yeah. This is sexual, this girl, him. This is the sexuals. They like that. This is the booty shaking section. They cool. That gets thousands of views. Thousands. Look at it. When it's your turn to like, they already got 1.4 likes. Damn, she just put it up. That's crazy. Wow. But if you put mine up, I checked back in 3 days, I got 6 views. Damn. Either people don't like information or something is wrong. Somebody's holding back. That's why I can't wait to start to manipulate the elements and the atoms and the molecules around us. They won't be able to stop you then. But they're going to have a little, just like they did with the cable. They're going to be able to shoot a bullet. They said you shoot a bullet through the cable. And just when we were still in cable back in the day, they said you shoot a bullet and mess your TV up. They're going to be able to do that. Once I start showing, like, if you ever see V for Vendetta, I think it was that movie. I'm not quite sure, so don't quote me on that. but I think it was where he was popping up in the sky. You see, a lot of people, it went over their head of how this was able to manifest and come about because we were so caught up in the movie. You know what I'm talking about? Like, but me, I'm a decoder of movies, so I'm like on a duet type of existence when I'm watching these movies. One part of me is enjoying it, but then the other part, I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view. You know what I'm talking about? Because I always know that these people are saying something. One thing about Hollywood, right? They can only make movies based off of what has happened, what's happening, and what's going to happen. This is facts. That's the only way you can write a book. That's the only way you can make the movie. You could change the names of the character and location, but you gotta make you gotta make the movie based on the affairs of what we have here on the plane of existence. If you coming from anywhere beyond, then you opening up a can of worms, and somebody gonna peep game, like we always do. Check. The sector. Okay, right. That's what that's that staff he holding, Lady Shea Butter. Sector. Thank you. Right? Lady Shea Butter, Dreamy Queen. I can't wait for you to drop some of those more of those binary tunes too. I enjoy listening to it. Sometimes I go through your YouTube stream and put on something that you play, Lady Shea Butter, in my daybreak when I'm preparing myself. You know, I like to heal my chakras and my organs in my body. That's right. We got to decode, not just absorb the foolishness. Don't get me wrong. It's okay to watch the movies to be entertained. You know, look back, which character fits me. You know how we used to do when we was kid? Oh, that's me right there. I'm the good guy. I'm the good cop. Or if you was watching a movie and it was 6 people in the haunted house, one was scared, one was always talking science and mathematics of what's going on, and then you had the killer, the bully. So you picked your character. One of the women was quiet, shy, timid, needing help and protection. You know what I'm talking about? Then you always got the character. He sees her, but normally he the killer. But we gonna go there. But that's what we do with the movies. You do enjoy them, you know. Get our mind. That's why you go and watch what you like to watch. You know, we all wait for something that comes out. You know, the movie come out, you say, I don't like that movie. I don't want to go see that. Each and every individual got a movie that they want, I'm going to go see that. Because you know there's an aspect of something in it that resonates with you. And look, more than likely, look, this is how nature works. There's a message in it for you. Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm not going to reveal too many things as of yet. I got to wait a little bit because I just want to say, you know, we're not living in a bad world, people. It's just a world. It is what it is. And the more you grow into yourself, the sooner you will see this. So leaving it on that note, let's get back into some of this file here written by Mr. Anthony Browder. Because it gets deep. We're going to start decoding, speaking of decoding, the back of the dollar bill a little bit. I know a lot of people is already informed with that, but it's always good to have a little refreshment course. You know, I know for me it is, because I continuously still build. You know, all right. You're gonna see how it went from that of the eagle, right, from the falcon. And this man does a very good job in explaining it. So this is probably the reason why I'm reading this material. All right. So as we stated, we are being shown a new version of ourselves, people, which documents advanced black culture and civilization which preceded slavery by thousands of years. We are now introduced to irrefutable evidence that brings to light the black or African origins of mankind. I want you to be clear on this man and mankind, people. You had the man, and even the scriptures differentiate between the two. Study the Quran, both in Arabic and English. The development of the concept of time, the first solar calendar of 365, 1/4 days, medicine, law, algebra, agriculture, engineering, religion, and so much more. Imagine the effect of this new information, right, will have on the minds of school children when they learn that Hippocrates is not the father of medicine, or that Christopher Columbus did not prove that the world was round, and that conceptually, I like to think they all concocted in bringing and misinforming the people about being on something round. Speaking of round, and me being on a flat plane of surface. But the conception, but it states that conceptually, it is impossible to discover a land when there are people already living there. But let me say this, so we could give them a pass. We want to look at it as if, well, you got to know, white people aren't too intelligent. Maybe not at all. They're smart, that's it, but they're not intelligent. Intelligent, that means you have to come from within. And this is no disrespect. This is the reality of existence. If I was breaking down to you that of the mechanics of a car, you wouldn't get mad at me because I'm being biasness or telling you what part that works different or better than another part. So the same thing when it comes to man and mankind. Let's not get so emotional, but yet and keep an open mind. In that way, if you're not divine, you can always incarnate into something next time. Why do you think white people got black dogs and got a black car? Jog down the street in a black suit. Quick to tell you, I got black friends. They may not want to be black. They might not can't be black at the time. They might not want to live in an all-black neighborhood, but they're setting in preparation to have their incarnation into something of a darker hue, because it can be more intel. You see? Who knows? You probably was a Tweety bird before. You probably was an alligator. In fact, I'm almost feel safe to say you was every creature and animal before you could incarnate or vibrate into that of a physical like this upright avatar. Because the way you understand it, the way this has to go, the higher your intelligence, the stronger your vibration. The stronger your vibration, the larger your frequency. Oh, I don't think they see this mathematics. And so there's no way that you can ever be reincarnated back to this earth to go through this same old bullshit again. After you and reach the height already, discovering that what you already know, what you gonna do? Be born again as somebody in America and have to learn all over that Martin Luther the King did this, that thing, and the other? You gonna have to what? No, you're not gonna go through that, people. Trust me. You gotta graduate. Just like the teacher told you when you was in 3rd grade and you wanted to stay there forever. Remember actually your teacher? Oh, I love this class. It was so good. I got all A's. Can I stay? She said, no. He said, no. I got to pass you on. Same thing with nature. Some of you going to want to come back to America. Oh, man, this is so deep. I look at beings today for the sake of wanting to come back here. They don't go no higher. They don't want to read no more broader file. They cool with the little bit of information. And they're quick to tell you, hey, my man, don't forget, ignorance is bliss. So that means the more I know, the more it gets lonely at the top, people. It really do. But there's a lot that awaits you. There's a heaven that awaits you. Oh, if you just stay true and stick to that what you are in your divine self, there is something that this body, this brain is not capable of imagining that is waiting for you. All you gotta do is look at all the sages and gurus who walked the path like you're walking when it was time for their either demise or transformation. Did you know I seen people that leave here with a smile on their face? Yeah, my grandfather left here like this in the bed. Remember that? Ancient Egyptian symbol and picture. They tell you do this, right, when you're going down the water slide. Why? Because you're safe. You've made it. You've made your mark. That's right, Lady Shea Butter. She writes that it goes and gets real deep when you open to accept. And this is the reason why a lot of people, they start to discover this, but it's like, it's as if they say, no, I've gone far enough. I can't go no more. I don't want to go no more. And oftentimes, let me say this too, because this happens, and it happens to a lot. It happens to a lot of individual who makes it into guru stages of existence. You don't necessarily have to be recognized or known to be a guru or sage. You don't have to be a Dalai Lama. You don't have to be a Malcolm the X or a Martin Luther the King. You don't have to. There's probably greater beings or Khalid Muhammad. Much respect to these beings. There are probably beings that was never recognized that was just as powerful as not more, if not more. What about the women? White America did not let the woman take her rightful place. Only until this administration showed you a little inclination of the power of what the woman can get and have. That's it. But when it comes to the spiritual and the macro state of existence, particularly for the melanated beings, so-called black and African. Oh, you're not going to have that from no woman. The closest woman you ever got something spiritual from was either Erykah Badu or Lauryn Hill. I ain't going to leave out Dr. Fresh Cranswell and Shahrazar Ali and the like. However, my point is, when the feminine, and when I say when it's curtailed, you see, this is why it was at one time in the 1990s, right? The black woman made more money than the black man. Oh, yes, it was. I seen the statistics. It was in 1990s, if I'm not mistaken. Number one was, of course, so-called white man, right? Second was the black woman. Third was the white woman. And at the bottom of the totem pole was the black man when it came to its salary rate. I ain't lying. And this is all done intentionally. So, not too long after she started making more money than me, you know what the next thing was, right? What was the next thing that she did and said? If I ain't do it right, if I wasn't doing right and I didn't bring home that money, I don't care. You know, I wouldn't make it more than her, but you got to bring something home. Right. I don't need a man. All this was done intentionally, people. And after the black woman went and said that she don't need a man, guess who slid up under her? Ellen DeGeneres and her people. Wasn't that coochie? You want my black girl coochie? Nah. They hate this some shit. So I said, well, we're not going to go there. Let's go back in right field for a minute here. And that was coming out of this file. I think we get the point. Because I have a lot to cover. And it's very informative. And I think I'm going to skip over where we was at with Christopher. Well, no, because we don't have much more to go. And I'm pretty much a speed reader. So I hope you all fast listeners, because I'm going to speed on right quick. All right? So let's listen up, people. Check this out. It states that, well, let's back up. Start from the beginning of the chapter or the paragraph. It states that imagine the effect this new information will have on the minds of school children when they learn that Hippocrates, whoever this guy named, Hippocrates, is not the father of medicine, right? How about this too? Plato, Aristotle, Socrates were not white people. Oh yeah, they probably going. Oh yeah, they're going to be like, oh man, this guy got to go now. You know he didn't say some things, but now he talking about Aristotle and Plato wasn't black. Just think how they were killed, and you automatically know that they were black. They were poisoned, beheaded. These things they did to the black people, right? Cut my phallus off, cut my testicles off, right? That's what you told me. You put one arm on one horse and the other arm on another horse and set them both on their merry ways differently. Check. So you gonna tell me that these people underwent the same treatment and they weren't black? Gotta be careful how you talking to some people. Some people eyes wide open. Christopher Columbus did not prove that, nor to discover America. He did prove that the world was round. He was in that process of deceiving the people by changing the maps. Yeah, he was a sailor, so he had to have knowledge of the maps and stuff coming from that queen, so-called queen over there, right? It is impossible to discover a land when there are people already living there. So yeah, this is where we was at. I said I wanted to give him a pass because it's a simple fact, right? In a sense, you can say that Mr. Christopher did discover America. Because what does discover mean? To find something that you didn't know existed. See, they did. Now, according to the story, they just didn't know it existed. So they didn't lie. They just didn't tell you the whole truth. He discovered America, but they didn't tell you that I was already here. That's the key. He discovered it. Because that's just like if you walked around the corner and you see Wawa sitting there. You say, oh, wow. I didn't know that was there. I say, yeah, that shit been there. I went there yesterday. You just discovered it. But don't go tell the people that, yo, I discovered a Wawa around the corner. You got to tell them that I didn't know it was there. Nate been there already. I'm just now finding it. And when you know what we going to say, oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, man. Oh, shit. Man, we've been going to that Wawa for a long time. Where you been? I don't know. I ain't never walked that way. I always go this way. You see? So let's give Christopher Columbus a pass, people. They're very ignorant and unlearned people. They're very foolish. So these are indeed important times that we're living in. It is only through the positive portrayal of the Black contribution to the world civilization that people, especially Black Americans or Aboriginals, Copper-Tone people, will begin to see the worth of themselves and the necessity of Afrocentric worldview. It is a historical fact that the African Blacks were the first people on the plane or planet, that they developed the earliest civilizations, and that there has been a concerted effort to deny the world these great truths. Let's move on, and we're going to move on fast. Listen real close, people. The lack of an Afrocentric worldview writes Mr. Anthony, left him in a early education. I'm sorry. The lack of an Afrocentric worldview in my, meaning Mr. Anthony Browder, education left me mentally malnourished, as it did for most of us. I know it did for me. I went to school and I didn't see no use. I was already ahead of the teachers. In fact, most of the times, and I'm still doing it to this day, I see before it happens and coming to fruition. So most of the times I was already prepared to give the lesson that the teacher was giving to the class. I already knew what he was going to do. Real talk. I got expelled for getting up and teaching and writing on the blackboard with the white chalk. I got expelled for even answering the phone. I don't know. Don't ask me why did I do that. I know why. We're not gonna sit here and get into all that. Yeah, I was very insubordinate and disobedient in those schools. I only went to the 8th grade. Then they said, that's it. You can go ahead. 8th is the number of build and destroy. I wasn't going to go to 9 because that would have made me born into that psychology, and I probably wouldn't be able to escape that and be here today giving you from my point of perspective or my intel. You see? Heaven knows if I would have went to college, then I would have been like a Steve Coakley or Bobby Hemmett or somebody. Or Malcolm the X. No, Malcolm didn't go to college. But who them people go to college and they go ahead and get with those fraternities, and later on in life, didn't Martin go to college? You see? Bill Cosby. I might have done 3 years. Yeah. Bill Cosby did 3 years. Don't get it twisted. You ain't gonna tell me they ain't working with science and mathematics in order. Man, if y'all go stand your ass in the corner, and then he gonna get out with all that symbology on his shirt and throwing up the Baphomet sign. Remember? Go look at the day he got out. Oh man, y'all don't be paying attention. That's why I don't like talking with y'all. Only Lady Shea Butter. Yeah. Oh, she says he might have. We talking about Martin, right? I think he did. Let's see something. Did Martin Luther King go to college? He did. Right. Morehouse. Damn. I didn't know that. He said the only college on the planet. That was in 1944. Wow. In September 1944, Martin begins his studies at Morehouse College. Yeah. All right. So y'all see what it's hitting for, right? We ain't gonna feed this horse no more. Right. That's right, Lady Shea Butter. Let me close out some of these apps because it'll freeze the computer, and I don't want that to happen. All right, let's finish reading. There's some juicy information we're going to get into. We're going to get into the seal, y'all. We're going to get into that great seal of the dollar bill, y'all. Remember that number 13? You see Philadelphia is wrapped all around that number 13, don't you? I don't think we got a building with the floor 13 in it in Philadelphia. If we do, it's new. It was made after the 80s. Our shit. Our basketball team is the 76ers. 76 is what? So I'm going to give it to you. I'm a Philadelphian. Allow me to share you the right light. I ain't playing. This is not no game. This is not public schooling system either. This is not Eurocentric studies. It's not even Afrocentric. This is personal growth and development. Self-realization. If you can't do it, stay stagnated. Maybe better luck the next time. So, let's jump into this seal. This great seal. It's supposed to be great seal anyway. Right? Mr. Brottle writes that Afrocentric epistemological view of this process. He said, allow me to share an Afrocentric epistemological view of this process. Epistemological. I got books over there on this word, but let's go quickly to the computer for fact purposes and information. What does epistemological mean? All right. So he wishes to share an Afrocentric view of this process. Look at the back of the dollar bill. If you have a dollar bill around you, please take it out at this time. If you have a dollar bill on you, I got mine right here in front of me. Everybody should have a dollar bill right about now, because I could be lying to you people. And that's never my intentions. And if you ever felt, though, that I've told a lie, I beg your pardon, and I stand to be corrected. Never be afraid to get in the comment section, people. Correct me, inform me, and enlighten me. I'm a student of life. I ain't got no problems sitting and being attentive and listening to somebody leaking information out their faucet. I'm thirsty. You ever heard them women talk about, damn, dude, you thirsty? Yeah. I'm thirsty. I want it all. So look at the back of the dollar bill. You'll see firsthand the differences between the Afrocentric worldview and the Eurocentric view. By the way, if you went to school in America, you're going to need to know that pretty much you have a Eurocentric form of ideology. Sad as that may sound to hear, right? Hey, I'm sorry. Hopefully you studied at home and, you listened to your mom and your pop if they was talking up anything of blackness, and it sparked something in you, and you only went to school just to get that paper. Hopefully, we're going to put it like that. A lot of people are serious about spinning on a globe. They really think they can get on a rocket and go get up there on the moon. And that's because of that ball that sat in your classroom in 3rd grade. Or was it 8th grade? Yeah, I don't think it got to you. I didn't think you get to see the round ball until you made 8th grade. No. Well, I seen it, and I ain't going no higher than 8, so it might have been a little less than that. So anyway, right? The symbols on our currency, and did you know they call it money currency? Is it currency the terminology of electrician? I'm a carpenter, people, a brick mason. I know electricians. I know the dialogue. I know the talk. After I do my framing, what they gonna come and run through this goddamn wood? Because sometimes I'll be scared. I don't want y'all burn this place down. That's me. That's why I never became an electrician. Besides, I smoke too much. I might get the wires twisted and forget and twist the wires up. We all burn down. Real talk. So I knew not to mess with that current. You know what I mean? I smoke some herb, and you go talking about hook up the 220 line. And you forgot to go down there and do this, that thing, and the other. Brick mason, it ain't like that. It's easy. It's the same thing every movement. It's muscle memory work. It's no really You have to pay attention type shit. I did it sleep. White boys come drunk, and that wall be straighter than mud because you got a leveler. We could cheat. So, like, why do they use currency when we're dealing with money? Did you know you are also a form of currency? Is the human body currency? Let's ask it like that. How much how much electricity does the human body hold? Well, y'all better not go tell nobody this shit, y'all. I'm gonna teach y'all some shit. Y'all bet, but y'all can't go running out talking this shit. Well, we gonna get in trouble, man. And we not gonna form like Voltron either. Not yet. God damn it. I know they like, damn, man, all that, but we could when we come together. Just be patient, y'all. We gotta get all that juice up out of they done slapped up in the people. They know this. Oh man. Oh, wassle, wassle, wassle. I hate when I can't explain what I see and other people don't see it. I can't stand it. And no, I ain't before my time. I don't even want to hear that shit either. They be talking, oh, Nate, you before your time. No, I'm not. This the same shit you can do and you know too. Oh, you got a smartphone, you can ask the phone the same thing. You just don't want to go no higher for whatever reason. You walking around consisting of 3.5 million volts. No wonder they making clothes where you can now put it on. I think you hook it up to you something and you can charge your cell phone. Let me see something. I'm gonna ask another question. Can a person light up a city? Hold on. Wow. You mean to tell me that a human can have enough wattage and electricity to light up a city? Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Y'all. They ain't teaching us this. Some humans, what? Oh my God. They gotta be talking about me. They don't know. And look, I'm not even human. What about the gods? They might answer that. Let's ask. Let's see something. Do the gods have more power or energy than the humans? That's a funny one, right? I like this computer. She's smart. So she didn't get much, but she said got more control. So that means you got ability to work more magic than the human people. First, you gotta find out who are the humans. You done let them tell you that you was human through that schooling system. Ain't that what Mr. Browder told us in the book? Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm not in the mood to be playing with these teachers and these so-called scholars and philosophers and great thinkers and sages and gurus out here. What's this character named Dr. Umar Johnson? He's playing. That's all. And I'm gonna leave it at that. We're not gonna be beating down these people out here that's making a lot of money. They gotta feed their family. That's what they say. I don't want to stop nobody from feeding their family. I don't want to take nothing out your children's mouth. If that's your sole purpose for existence and reason for being here, then by all means, work hard, baby boo. Work hard, boo boo. Make sure you come home sweating, stinking and dirty, and take a shower. And watch your family sit there and thank the Lord for what you brought home. Now they ain't gonna thank you. They ain't gonna bring you no slippers. They not gonna bring you a beer. They not gonna bring you a newspaper. They not gonna bring you an L. They're not gonna bring you a blunt, your Hennessy. They're gonna wait for you to come in that door with the food and wait till you go get in the shower. And then they're gonna sit down and eat without you. And if you bought a meal for yourself, that's getting eaten too. You coming out, you going fresh, smelling good. You talking about where's my food? They talking about little Chucky ate it. Damn, honey. You ain't have enough sense to put my shit up. Hey, the kids was hungry, baby. You know what it is. She talking about the kids was hungry. After you didn't thank the Lord. God, how did prayer go? Thank you for food we're about to receive to give us nourishment. And it's McDonald's too. Check it out. This boy come in with a bag from Arby's. And they praying over it. At least they got enough intelligence to not make it sacrificial and whole before they put it in their system. You don't have to pray over lettuce, cucumbers, and bell peppers, people. That shit gonna do works and magic on its own. Trust me. I'll do it. How beneficial are cucumbers? That's enough. That's enough. Thank you, baby. Have a seat. Yeah. Do you think I gotta pray? If I get me some cucumber water, you think I need to be taken by, oh Lord, let this water. No. I'm on time with time. One of the things when I became self-sovereign, governor of self, and master of self, and I had switched to a vegetarian / vegan diet. Okay. One of the things I did right away, I knew it was not necessary, was fasting. You know how the Muslims fast for 30 days? Every what? Every year, right? Because after Ramadan, we go back to eating Mickey D's, French fries, pizza, and all the like. So comes next year, I must abstain for a period of time to cleanse my body out from all of the impurities that I've put in it. Allah. But Mr. Allah, if I don't put it in, then I don't need to fast. That's what I told Allah. So he excused me. He's like, go ahead. You don't need to take your shahada. This is for people who don't have no control over themselves. They need to fast. They need to pray 5 times a day. That's how sick they is. Else they'll do something out of court, out of natural law of existence. Look at the story in Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Muslim, one of them hadiths. I studied them all. It stated that Allah wanted Muhammad to make them pray like 9 times, 1,000 times a day. The prophet said, oh, no, that's too much. They won't be able to do nothing else. And then the story goes on where he kept chopping it down a little bit, till finally, look, them niggas got to pray at least 5 times. And according to the story, it sat well with Muhammad, and he went on with the caliphs and did his job, according to the story now. So, as Mr. Browder states about looking at things Afrocentrically, you'll see firsthand the difference between the Afrocentric world view and the Eurocentric view. The symbols on our currency represents the ideology of the founding fathers and the source of their ideologies, not my founding fathers. We're going to need to be clear on this. It was the founding fathers, and that's symbolic, founding father. It only means the people whom the capital beings, some call them the Moors, you could call them the Moorish Americans or whatever, okay? Right here in Philadelphia, up Germantown Avenue into Valley Forge, yes, we led them. And that's the part of the story that they leave out, y'all. They leave out all of your works that you contribute into giving these beings the land and the property that they have. They didn't come take it. That's a big bunch of baloney. It don't even sound right. You put the disease in the blanket and they covered up with it and got sick. Oh, shit. You better watch out for Walmart next blankets then. Oh, boy. I don't want another blanket again in my life. If that's the case, we should never... There should be a blanket in a black person's house. But y'all got quilts and all kinds of blankets. Blankets for the summer, blanket for the winter. I tell the truth. You blanket crazy. Some of you got whole dressers and closets just filled with nothing but blankets and towels. Sharon Bisdee, Bisdee, keeper of the soul for the Secretary of State, describes the front of the seal featuring the bald eagle. Well, let me check something for a minute. Okay, Lady Shea Butter still with us, with me. We're together. And us. I got a little company. Ain't too much. Facebook is all good. No comments in there. We never get comments in Facebook. I told you, I must not be live on Facebook. Not at all. Or either they watch it over the radar, right? Because on Facebook, you don't have to actually tune in. You can just, once the feed come through, and I'm live, you can just listen. You don't have to actually come in. And because of the topics and the lecture, the severity and seriousness and deepness of it, very seldom will anybody ever make a statement on Facebook. So that's why, like you, Lady Shea Butter, I commend you. Appreciate your energy coming through and all the enlightenment that you have to offer and give to the YouTube page. See, this is us. This is not just mine. No longer is it mine. Once she came, once she's in it, right? It's us now. See, because we could look this up, hopefully 20 years from now, and we can hear the profound conversations that we having and read beautiful statements such as oh yeah, Lady Shea, but I see what you wrote. Wanted to be a mechanic, but smoked the herbs too. I think I did go through that too. I went to Martin Luther King School, and they had auto mechanic. Then they don't no more. They took out all the trades out of the schools in Philadelphia back in the 80s, and which is done intentionally, and built prisons. So anyway, right, auto mechanics, nah. Only thing I learned about auto mechanics, what my grandpop did, and that's when he had the, I'm talking about grandpop. So this is back in the day when you had a carburetor with the round top, and you take off the little screw. If your car didn't start, they pour some gas in it, and then they tell me to start it, and he's in there moving that little throttle, and it started. That's the only thing I learned about auto mechanic. But the car's changed now, so you can't do that no more unless you get yourself a 1972 Chevy Caprice, 354 engine in it, or a 1971 Boss Ford Mustang. You know what I'm talking about? Those were the vehicles I used to ride around in. Those are the vehicles I learned to drive in. Yup. I remember a white, was it an Impala? Or no, a Chevy Caprice. He didn't like the Impalas because the window was different. The Caprice's back windows went in, and the Impalas had like a kind of straight or bubble window. All right. So anyway, let's go to back catcher. We're gonna play back catcher now. We're gonna hit every position. We're gonna go all over. All right, so put your gear on. You know what I mean? We're gonna play first base, second base, shortstop, third base. That's right. Center field, left field, and right field. A lot of people notice in baseball don't like to play left field because it's a trajectory of the way the ball comes after if it gets come off the bat. If you ever played baseball, it's a difference than when you're in center field, right field, and left field. I played baseball before. I understand the science and the mathematics of all the games. Dr. First Krantz Wilson broke down the psychology of everything anyway. From the pool table with the bowling ball. The black bowling ball knocking down the white pins. Huh? And if you ever play pool, there's nothing wrong with using the black ball to knock all the other balls off the table and let the white ball be the last ball to be knocked off the table. That's fun. That's a whole, this process, y'all, automatically reverse the psychosis, the sick psychosis that's been placed on the people. I do it all the time. When I used to play chess live, I'm on computer now, playing people all over the world. But when I used to play it live, meaning person to person, oh no, black go first. You better not ask me, do white go first? And you not a white person. I knew you was going to lose. Already. So this person, right, Sharon, keeper of the seal for the Secretary of State, described the front of the seal featuring the bald eagle. Its wings are outstretched, representing dignity, freedom, strength, and vision. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't stand by these same principles, people. But if you do, make sure you're doing it in rightness, and it is applicable for all beings. That's all I'm saying. Above the eagles are 13 stars known as the constellation, which signifies that the United States has taken its place among the nations of the world. On the eagle's breast is the shield. Look it up, people. What do you think? Because it's 2023, this ain't adequate or suffice or accurate information anymore? Or you telling me now you're willing to admit that we all been living a big lie and now you don't want to pay this stuff no mind no more? I'll accept that. That's better than walking around here talking about you spending 1,000 miles an hour. And that in God that you trust is the almighty dollar. Huh? American money is the only money that has the words on it, "In God we trust." So on the eagle's breast is the shield. Check. The bar at the top of the shield represents Congress. Huh? The 13 stripes below the bar represents the 13 original colonies supporting the Congress. The eagle carries in its beak a ribbon that displays the Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," which means out of many, one. This signifies that the 13 colonies have become one nation. In its right talons, the eagle grasps an olive branch bearing 13 leaves, representing peace. Not the same peace that you represent, but a different peace. We'll get into that a little bit later. Let's first acknowledge what we're working with before you start to define anything. So the left talons hold 13 arrows, which symbolizes war. So the eagle head is turned toward the olive branch to indicate our nation's preference for peace. But yet, why are we starting in so much war? Why is it nothing but chaos, mayhem, wars right here in our own backyard? On the left side of the dollar bill is the reverse of the Great Seal. It features a pyramid comprised of 13 courses of stone, which represents the original colonies. And the eye of God encased in a pyramid, according to Besdi, right? The unfinished pyramid symbolizes strength and foundation for future growth. Above the pyramid, in a glory burst, is an eye inside of a triangle, which represents the many interventions of the providence in favor of the American cause. Above the eye is the Latin phrase "annuit cepis," which means that he has favored our undertakings. Meaning you. Remember, you gave these people its order. You allowed them to come over here and set up shop. after these beings had no other place to go. You ever see, you know what? Let me show y'all something. Let me show us something. We're going to see something. Because I'm the type of individual with other beings, right? Who's always going up and moving into that of the Caucasian neighborhoods or communities, right? And what happens because, well, I'm black, parents a little different, okay? But still, they're black. And the community feels though that black people are moving into our neighborhood. The realtors are letting these beings come into our neighborhood, so we must migrate, right? Or what? Move out. Now everybody know, every black person, every white person knows this in America. This is American tradition. God damn it. Let's not be naive to this. Unless you was just born a couple days ago. You know darn well when black people move into white people's anything, if you come around, they want to go. Right? Where do you think they got that from? Let me ask y'all that. They didn't invent that. It was the Coppertone people, the Aboriginals, so-called black people of over 78 trillion years ago, been migrating and leaving and running from that of anti-life idiocy and ignorance and stupidity. So when you Coppertone people, Aboriginals was standing down there on Delaware Avenue on the shores, and you was looking at out your binoculars, and you seen that ship. It might have been called Jesus that Chris was on. Maybe that's what Jesus really was. And you seen that ship coming over the horizon, right? Not over the ball, not over the globe. It was coming out of the horizon. Check. Y'all said, oh shit, we got to go, y'all. Pack your stuff. Here come them cave people. You know people who's in the cold parts of what we call today York. I don't know what they called it back then. But they was all up in there eating raw, didn't know how to cook nothing, cold climate. Look at the Flintstones. They tell you in the cartoon, the Flintstones. Bam Bam and Scooby Doo and all. I mean, not man Scooby Doo. Bam Bam and whatever other character they had. Barney. They Bedrock, right? But your Bible tells you that they were coming out of. They supposed to be out of a garden. How you gonna show me a cartoon where life begins at Bedrock when my Bible is making mention of a Garden of Eden? I caught on right there. See, these people couldn't trick me, man. And it's only because I came here not to be tricked. That's all. Y'all don't know, I've been fed up eon lifetimes ago. And so I have made my declaration and independence of self. Again, what you going through in life is not by chance or accident. No accident. It's your divine purpose that you wrote. So it states that on the left side of the dollar bill is the reverse of the Great Seal. It features a pyramid. Okay, we've been there. And we've been there. All right, where are we at here? Here we go. So at the bottom of the pyramid are the Roman numerals for 1776. Wow. The date of the Declaration of Independence, so-called. Under that are the Latin words Novus Ordo Seclorum, which were suggested by Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson, meaning a new order of the age. I'm sorry, a new order of the ages. It has an S on the end. That's a big difference. Wow. I told you. I let them have that seat. Here in Philadelphia, where our city hall is in that bell, I let them have that. I told them to set that there. There's mounds here where we allow them to set shop up. They weren't smart enough to come here and scientifically and mathematically map this all out. Just like today, you think they coming up with these new cell phones and things of that nature and devices and technology and 5G, 7G, 10G. Y'all giving these people too much credit. If they taught you in history class, if they gave you in history class a list of at least 1,000 black inventions, you best better know, not believe, that you're still inventing to this day. They just don't want you to know that. Nor are they going to show you where it's coming from. The front of the Great Seal was designed by Charles Thompson, Secretary of Congress. The reverse was designed by William Barton, a specialist in heraldry. And on June 20th, 1782, the emblem was adopted by an act of Congress. It has long been suggested that the soul of America is reflected in this Great Seal. In 1822, the Frenchman named Jean Champollion deciphered the Rosetta Stone and revealed the mysteries of the Egyptian hieroglyphs, which paved the way for the European interpretations of ancient African history. Today, an Afrocentric decipherment of the Great Seal will also shed new light on the establishment of the United States of America and its relationship with its Aboriginal and African people. I want you to go tell your now administration that they need to get on this. Or if you not favoring black, you need to get back. If he come up with his old slogan in terms of hip hop shit and flyness, you need to pop back with some fly shit, because he ain't doing nothing for you people. He told you if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, you voted for him. He did more for any other beings, Ukraine, and anybody else than he did for black people who all voted for him. Obama did the same thing. We just keep getting duped. My peoples. Oh man, I'm so sorry for y'all. I really do. My heart really weeps, man. Every time you vote and you get disappointed. How many presidents are you going to keep turning around talking about, damn, why did I vote for him? When all you got to do is just stop, period. And you'll shut the system down. They got to do something else. They're going to have to fight amongst each other to see who takes the office now. And then you really get to sit back and watch. Just like you did January 6th. You sat back and watched that, right? You didn't run down there and help out. You didn't run down there, give them no support. Because you knew that wasn't your matter. You knew that was a white American European issue. That's not your house. Let those people tear up their house. Farrakhan told you, America's going to burn from within. Now you want to run down there. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't tear up your house. Let's move on. We're going to get into this number 13 real deep. Because they play a lot with this number 13, y'all. 13, 3, 6, and 9, 33, 6, 9, 33, 45, 23. Remember on Friday? He was counting out the, I think he was playing the lottery. 45, 33, 6, 9. There that guy go. Oh, he just threw up the sign. Biden. Just like this as he was talking. I wish I could show that. I do it too. But it's mine. It's something that they learned from us. Look at the Baphomet in Jesus. It's the same thing. Jesus doing the same thing. But yet y'all worship Jesus. The Kardashians and them like at the Bohemian Grove, they like blood. But you Christians, you too, you practicing the same thing when drinking of the blood of Christ. So you see, don't run from when you see all that symbols and things that they putting up, because it's your power. It's your magic. And they're using it against you. In fact, if you look at the word sacred and scared, you'll see that they're the same, but only with the switching of the C. And that's exactly what they did. They took all your sacred magic and made you scared of it. So now when you see me doing things like this, you talking about, oh, he's satanic. But you didn't say nothing with Trump, Biden, and all them that's doing it. All the rappers, all the celebrities. Why ain't they saying anything about that? That's right, scared. SCARED, sacred. SACRED. And don't think, look, is it not obvious? They changed what letter? What letter to make this happen was changed? You see, right? You see. I think you see. You ain't blind no more. That's not no coincidence that the C is changed. Oh yeah, y'all. This whole thing is put together by design. We practicing witchcraft at its best. And they don't even know it. That's why these people find themselves in the paradigm that they're in. Because they don't know it. They don't know nothing about magic. And if they do, if they haven't heard anything of it, they was told you better not go near that. You better read your Bible. You better stick with your Quran. So it is a known fact that the founding fathers were Freemasons. It is also a known fact that the founding fathers were Freemasons who study astrology and other ancient metaphysical sciences. Of the men who signed the Declaration of Independence, 51. 5 and 1 is what? Oh, y'all smart. Y'all gonna be grade A students before they even want to be. 51 were Masons, as were all of the generals of the Revolutionary War. In addition, 14 United States presidents have been acknowledged as belonging to Masonic organizations. And that says 14 presidents have been acknowledged. That don't mean that it wasn't more. It's just that 14 of them came out and like, yeah, this is what it's hitting for. All of the men involved in the creation of the Great Seal were practicing Masons who sought to incorporate Pacific values into the system. Into the symbolism of the new nation. The links between Masonry and ancient Egyptian science and metaphysics have been profoundly heralded by European Masons for centuries, people. Now, nowhere is this relationship more clearly defined than in George D.M. James' book titled Stolen Legacy. James documented the relationship between the Egyptian mystery schools and the European Mason lodges. The word Mason, which means child of the sun, is derived from the African terms sons and daughters of light and the children of the sun. The sun is symbolic of enlightenment. Therefore, these metaphors describe the people who have acquired knowledge and enlightenment. When viewed from this perspective, the significance of the Great Seal takes a new meaning. The front of the seal bears a striking resemblance of the African symbol of Horus, the falcon. The use of the symbol preceded the creation of the seal by over 5,000 years. Above the falcon is the sun, which is symbolic of power and knowledge. Horus is holding in both talons the Shin, which is the African symbol of infinity, and above the Shin is the Ankh, the African symbol of life. These combined images represent the belief in infinite life, not only in this world, but in many more that you can build for yourself. Contrast this ideology to that of the eagle, which carries the symbols of war and peace. Take a mental note of what we just read here, of that of the falcon and the eagle. See? The front of the Great Seal is also replete with the repetition of the number 13. There are 13 leaves and 13 berries on the olive branch, 13 arrows, 13 stripes on the shield, 13 letters in the word E pluribus unum, and 13 stars in the constellation above the eagle's head. Throughout the seal, the number 13 is used 8 times. What is the significance of the number 13? The logical explanation is that 13 represents the 13 original colonies. But why 13 colonies? Why not 10 or even a dozen, right? 2 and 1 would be 3. It could have been 12, just like 12 disciples, half a day of your, time of your day. half of your cells that you have. You have supposed to have 12 this, what is it? 24 chromosomes in all, right? It could, but we working with 13. Why not 15 colonies? Well, in Masonic, esoteric, and metaphysical literature, 13 is the number of transformation. The completion of a cycle is represented by 12. And 12 plus 1 is the transformation of the energy of that completed cycle to a higher or spiritual level. We see this philosophy expressed in the symbolism of Christ and the 12 disciples. The 12 disciples and Christ being 13. Look on the what was that? The picture, the Last Supper. You got 4 groups. No, is it 3 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 3 plus Jesus? Let me look at it to be actual fact. I haven't seen this in so long. I am going over this type of information. I had this book when I was a very young, so in fact, I have other information. Browder is not the only one that does a good job on expressing this type of esoteric studies that we're getting into right now. Oh man, what's I looking for? Something about a picture of the Last Supper. According All right, let me look at these images for a minute so I could be actual. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, I was right. 4 groups of 3 people. 4 times 3 is 12, right? And plus Christ in the middle. I would like for y'all to pull this picture up and look at the symbolism in it. It's so much in it to read, y'all. They tell you a picture speaks 1,000 words, but I like to remind you that a picture also depicts 1,000,000,000 symbols. Okay? You have to use the first eye to see in it. Yeah, 2 of them is women. Without a doubt. Let's get back into the Brothers file. That's deep right here. We don't want to get in too much of that right now. I'll probably ask Brother Sanchez to break that picture down, that image down. He's good at symbology. If you haven't subscribed to Bro Sanchez TV, I recommend that you do. It's called Bro, B-R-O Sanchez TV. He does a fine job with sacred geometry, cosmology, and a little bit of other fields out here that we haven't really gotten into. All right, so it states Christ and the 12 disciples, the sun and the 12 signs of the zodiac, right? King Arthur and the 12 knights of the round table. And then you have December 25th and the 12 days of Christmas. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. There are many other examples. On the reverse of the Great Seal, we find a pyramid comprised of 13 steps. And above the pyramid, we see the Eye of Haru. History shows that the construction of the pyramid occurred in lands occupied by African people in Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan, and well as by the Africans who migrated to Central America in the 7th century BC. You see? So when we seen these people coming, we already knew, because remember, we gave the world all it has. So don't think that we had not great foreseers and sorcerers who could predict not just the next day like many of us do. They foreseen eons, as we're learning to do. So it was no accident that these people landed here on Plymouth Rock. For they needed to come up out of that barbaric, inhumane situation. So they needed a place to stay. And so you get all these different stories. How, oh, you black people were so good. You disobeyed. And now you must be punished. You must fail. I mean, you must be beat up, taken for bad before you ever become enlightened again. But there's some truth to that. So the combined use of the pyramid and the Eye of Horus represents a clear desire to incorporate Egyptian values in the founding of this nation. A translation of the Latin words surrounded these two symbols further reinforces this point. Let's take another mental note of the symbols here before us. All right. Can y'all see that? Okay. Novus Ordo Seclorum represents the establishment of a new secret order. Novus Ordo Seclorum. I may not be pronouncing it right, but it's some words that's on this, what they call currency. And it says that it represents new secret orders. That don't sound too good. Not too many people like secrets. In fact, if you know anything of the free Masonic order, they deal with that, which is known as the Mystic Shrine. You know what a shrine is? What is a shrine? Hmm. What does mystic mean? You know what mystic mean? So we gonna go with the first one, right? A shrine is something you keep something sacred in, a place you regard as holy, right? I think what do you call people? What do you call that people ashes is in? Ain't that a shrine? No, oh, an urn, right? My bad. An urn, okay, but it's similar, same thing, right? A sacred person or relic marked by a building or other construction. What does mystic mean? Mm. Did you know the word mystic is actually the root word of mystery? Oh, yeah. If you spell mystic and mystery, you're going to have to use at least 3 of those letters. Or is it 4? I'm not making this up. So, in other words, we're talking about dealing with something that we have no knowledge of in this constructed order. Would this be safe to say? Come on now. Talk light to me. Novus Ordo Seclorum represents the establishment of a new secret order which was founded on ancient esoteric principles. A new source of copious, what is that? Coptis, means Coeptis, means that God has favored this undertaking and has blessed it with annual endowments of unlimited wealth. Isn't that something? Although the Eurocentric view was that America became great because of God's blessings, in reality, this country emerged as an economic world power because of 400 years of free slave labor. The history of this nation is truly unique. America is the only world power established on African principles. African people were enslaved and forced to build this country in order to bring these principles into manifestation. Suffice it to say, and it's this that information right there alone, what we just read about African Americans, is a sure enough reason for me to lead to think that it was all a setup. And look, just like when the white folks don't leave, when the black folks come in, same thing happened when the black folks left, when the white people came over here to what is called the North American shores. Some of the copper tone people stayed. And when you stayed, you got in trouble. Because you didn't think shit stink. Or you probably thought that you were going to befriend them and everything was going to go hunky-dory and y'all all going to have a good old time reuniting, Ebony and Ivory living good and beautiful in harmony. Much to your surprise, you're discouraged, upset, and living dysfunctional now. All because you wanted to go to school with the other man instead of the brother man. How you gonna go to school with them? If you did see the cats and dogs going to school early in the morning, I'm going to guarantee you they all ain't in the same school. So suffice it to say, without either of these two components, this nation would not be what it is today. These are numerous examples of the African influence interwoven into the fabrics of the United States of America. The prevalence of these examples is evident in Washington, D.C., and all over, for that matter. During the many years, so he writes, that I have resided, and then we talk about Anthony Brado, in the Metropolitan District of Columbia area. He writes that I have identified a number of sites such as the monuments, parks, and statues throughout the city, which both architecturally and symbolically quite commemorates the African contributions to this nation. 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to share my research on the Cathy Hughes Morning Show on that WOL radio. 1450, what's that, 1450 a.m.? Right. So the morning show, hosted by Miss Hughes, owner and general manager of that station, is a drive time talk show which features stimulating news items. All right, discussions and interviews. The information presented on that program held both the host and the audience spellbound. All right, so we're going to stop there on that. I think we done concluded for our session. We just wanted to drop that little bit of information on that Great Seal there, so-called Great Seal. I don't know how great it is, people, anymore. I've seen other countries burning it. So, I can't be, really give y'all, hype you up on and get you happy and excited about the dollar bill. I don't know how great it is anymore. I done seen people, other countries burn it, wipe their dog's butt with it. Oh, that was the flag. Somebody said that was the flag. I knew it. I knew it was something. I seen it on Facebook too. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I'm done. I'm gonna get up out of here. I was talking about the color black too, on the color black. So when I come back, we're gonna get back to that. That's what I'm gonna do when I come back. I was supposed to top that off come back and top that off, but we could wait. We done dropped enough information for the night. I'm done. I'm gonna go re-up on some more refreshments, lay down with my goddess, maybe throw a movie or something on, sit back, maybe just talk, cut everything off and talk, Make sure you're doing this with your other half, people. Don't always be together in the bed or where have you with the cell phone in your hand or the television on. At least get a couple minutes out of the time till you starts getting greater, where you could spend a whole day and night without any other thing and just each other's company. It's a beautiful experience. Lady Shea Butter, of course. And it's always a pleasure to be able to see your picture, okay? The name and all the beautiful expressions that you give for us. Peace and love to you. I appreciate that. Yep. Love, respect, and peace also to you. And also for your family, your loved ones, all that you give your energy to. I want to invoke prosperity to that. Anything that you want, anything that you like, Lady Shea Butter, I'm also with you. I'm sending out my heart, my energy on that ley line so that whatever it is of your intention, it will manifest just that much faster. This is why people go to church. There's some people say, where's my phone at? Hey, yeah, I'm going through something right now. Can you pray for me? Because we know the more beings we can get to evoke that same thought, the better chances of me having a successful outcome. You see? As opposed to me just doing it all by myself. Now, a person like me, I'm good. I could sit back and click my heels 3 times and it'd come like that. But I've been doing this for a long time. I got clean chakras, which is a necessity for one to bring to fruition that what they will. Lady Shea Butter writes that we are to get to the solutions as opposed to creating or being the problem. You see? Because if you don't become a part of the solution, not only do I fail, right? If I don't bring the solution, not only do I fail, but everything that I touch and everything that I love will have no value, no purpose, and no meaning. So again, I want to thank Lady Shea Butter for coming through, sharing in and weighing in on the conversation. Let me check Facebook. I don't think no one's come through on Facebook. No, Facebook. Okay. To all you beings who's watching over the radar and under the radar, kudos to you too. May your life be prosperous and harmonious. Anybody who gets to hear the words that comes out of my mouth, I'm going to invoke prosperity, tranquility, and harmony on you and for you. Yes. I might pull your picture up and stare at it for a minute and visualize you in utopia. People done it for me. And don't worry about it. People do it for wrong and abuse and misuse their powers. This is a different time of day now. I'm going to put it like this. If it don't apply, it will never fly. All right? But if you are in accord with the magic that was put down, then you're going to have something to be working on and get yourself out of. Don't fret. Don't worry. Don't get scared. Just become your God self and everything will be fine. Become your goddess self and you'll do all right in existence. Trust me. No weapon formed against you shall ever prosper. So you wrote. You just forgot that. You didn't let these people tell you that the mystery God wrote that in his Bible and that his words should come back non-void. No, that came from you. You wrote that. Shakespeare and all them concocted all your information and put it in there and chalked it and charged it to the mystery God. And got you going to church after you've been vaccinated. See, when we vaccinated, it's real easy to hypnotize us people. That's why I'm going to say it. Hey, man, listen. The only thing I fear is that what I don't do for myself to become great. That's the only thing I fear. So I done said enough. I'm going to get up out of here. I don't want to keep just carrying on. I'll get the ramming now. But I don't have no direct point of what to bring. I'll just start going off on everything. So, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to mess the stream up and get it taken down. So I better close out. First, I'm going to close out Facebook. All right. Kamsahamnida to the Facebook people. Kamsahamnida. Kamsahamnida, that's Korean people. For those who wondering what the heck he say. Yeah, I used to speak like I don't want to exaggerate. I spoke a lot of languages before people. But just like any other thing, when you don't use that stuff, it wasn't necessary. It's not necessary. Like I studied Nuwabic. You know what I mean? People I knew spoke Nuwabic. And then I can't find them anymore. So, like, I just do in the ether realm. I don't worry about languages no more. I deal with energy, frequency, and vibration. That lets me be in tune with all beings. All right. So to the YouTube, I'm out of here. Make sure you have a great life and do it on purpose. Charlie say yo.